Well, I have to ask, I mean, for you guys, how did this all start? Did someone come up to you, or did you come up to them and say...
Not me.
No, this dates from about 2005. Mm-hmm. Stephen Greenhorn, who wrote it, he had the initial idea then. It became a stage show in Scotland, and the first run of the stage show was in 2007. And then they did it a couple of years later, and they got a bit bigger and a bit better. And then they did it about 18 months after that, and it got bigger and better again. So it's all evolved from that stage show, which had 3 runs. And by the time of the third one, we were pretty sure it was going to become a film. And but it became a much better. It just seemed to get better and better all the time when they were talking about what we're going to spend in it, and who we wanted to get to do it, and then they got Dexter involved, and it just kind of grew from there, and the end result was fantastic.
For you guys, what's it feel like seeing your songs put to these stories? Because
it's very strange. The first time I ever saw the musical in Glasgow was one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had. And it's still very strange. I've seen it a good few times. Even seen it last night. It's still very strange having your songs reinterpreted, but you can kind of detach yourself from it more now. You know, the first time you see it, it's overwhelming. But I think I feel more detached now. I enjoy it now more, and I get more of the nuances. Especially even from last night was the second time I'd seen the film, and there was lots of bits I saw last night that I'd missed in the first runs.
I mean, it must even be interesting hearing your own words coming out of someone else's mouth, even.
It's strange, especially when it's female, I think.
Right.
I think that the dynamic instantly changes, I guess, with any songwriter. If it's a male songwriter, you know, he sings his song and then a lady interprets the song, then it instantly changes. And I think that thing on Letter from America and stuff, when you hear Jane singing it, it's just, it throws you a little bit, and but in a good way. And I have to say that singing on it is universally great. Even Peter, where a gruff delivery of Jane and stuff, because he can act so well, he can deliver anything, he can deliver any line, and he delivers it perfectly. So his interpretation of that is fantastic.
In terms of approaching the script and their music, I mean, what was any of that frightening, or was it just, you know, it was easy to just jump in because it was such a great story?
Yes, I mean, it's daunting. There's a responsibility, but what was always immediately apparent was that there was very strong storytelling within the lyrics within those songs. And of course, that's paramount to a musical: is that you give a character a voice, and you give them a voice that tells a story. If you see what I mean, it's all right, well and good saying, "Hey, now sing this song," but if it's not doing anything, if it's just there to look pretty or sound good, then it becomes, to my mind, rather sort of stagnant, and it sort of sits on its arse. I'm sorry, but these songs don't do that. There's an energy and a movement, and there's a storytelling that's within that obviously gives me, as the director and the actors, great tools to propel the story and the characters forward, and that's important. You know, the word that you say on set is, you say action, and to me that's very important. You know, that starts everything going. It's got to be, it's got to have movement in it. You know, it's got to have action in it, and the songs have that. They have action. You know what I mean? So I knew immediately. I was like, right, okay, but I've got really good tools. It's like, you know, if you're given a great set of tools, then it's just for you to fuck it up, you to make the mistakes. Excuse me, but you know. You know what I mean? Thanks. Get me out in the hole. Get me out.
What was it like in terms of filming in Glasgow and Edinburgh? Because the location really takes on a life of its own in terms of the storytelling. Or it feels like it does.
It was really exciting because, you know, we filmed in those cities, and all the majority of the cast and crew are Scottish and from those places, and these guys are a kind of part of the fabric there. You know, it's like every time we got a new song, it's like, for those people who really know and love that stuff, you know, Scott's really like, it's like great, you know. So it had a real warmth and affection for it, even in amongst the people who are making that film, which is always really important, because that's what you want to convey. I want to convey in the film. You know, I want to create a feeling of identity and warmth and affection, and that comes from everybody on the set, not just the people who are at the sharp end in front of the camera. It's got to be everyone feeling that energy and pushing. You've got people saying, like, holding the light, you know, who's just thinking, when I get home from my tea, you know, for another day. It's not conducive, you know. No. It's not. You want everyone pulling, because it's hard. It's long days. It's tough stuff to do, and it takes a lot of focus and concentration. So it was actually a real strength for us to be there, and so for me it was like it was a real joy. I was like, put in this place where there was this real energy and enthusiasm. So it was a massive bonus all round. It just added to everything we're trying to achieve.
It's awesome. Was there one particular scene that for you, either like one of the first things you filmed or anything in between, that kind of set the mood for how the story went?
Well, no, it's all integral, of course, isn't it? I mean, what's very special about it is when the guys turn up.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
God, just walk out of the boozer, just come out of the pub, and we've got, you know, it's a song and dance on, which is our second one, and it just sort of sets the tone for us really nicely, and yeah, it's important, you know. I mean, it's, you know, these guys are so important in it, and I don't know how to convey that other than how exciting it is for you to be there, and how that's, you know, part of what we want to do. It's like, if I could have had a bit more, I would have done. Yeah, so their involvement was very key and exciting and interesting, and certainly a great thing to film.
Right.
A couple of naturals.
We can't hit a mark on the stage either.
Was this your film cameo?
This is our moment. I think, you know, we'll probably retire from
I think retire will be now.
I went my best work's all by.
Amazing. Well, otherwise, I'm just wondering about the premiere last night. How did that go? What was that like?
Fantastic. It was really fantastic, and I loved the film the first time I saw it. I loved it more last night, and as the credits are rolling, the applause, did you feel it? The energy from the audience around you, it was in your bones. You know it. You can't fake it's either there or it's not there as a performer, and you know when something's hit, and that hit last night.
Very true.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.